both the marketing consultant for the NMRA and the NMRA Publications Department Manager to present this next segment, but unfortunately, Christina Zambri couldn't join us. So let's welcome Riley Triggs, the NMRA Publications Department Manager, and he will present everything you need to know on what is coming and how to get ready. Riley?
All right. Thanks, Chuck, for having me. And looking forward to this opportunity to present what the digital version of the NMRA magazine is going to look like. And the number one thing to know is that it's arriving April 1st, and that's just a few days away now. So things are getting really exciting, and we're looking forward to being able to offer this to the members. So what I'd like to do tonight is just kind of take people through what the digital version is and how it's going to work, and give them a little preview of what's going to be available starting next week. So the first thing that everybody should know is that the paper version is not going away. If you like having the paper version, you can continue to receive your paper copy of the NMRA magazine just like you have in the past. But what this is going to do is this is going to allow us to get the magazine into every member's hands. And that's something that we haven't been able to do in the past because only about 70% of our members take the paper magazine. And I know, I, for one, I stopped taking the paper magazine several years ago because I wasn't reading it, because it wasn't convenient for me and kind of my lifestyle of how I tend to consume magazines now and printed material. And for me, it's not, sitting on the couch with my feet up, flipping through a magazine leisurely. It's more about being out, maybe at a stoplight or in between meetings at work where I can pop open my phone and read an article or look through some track plans or something like that. So what this does is this is going to allow us to get this into the hands of every one of our members. 100% of our members are going to have access to the digital version. And again, if you like the paper version, you can continue to receive that as well, just like you're doing now. So thinking about this digital version, it's just new technology. It's the same magazine. It's the same quality content that you've been getting for years. Um, it's the same membership or same member-driven articles and content that you're getting right now. So all of this is a little bit of a technology upgrade, something that is going to fit in with our lifestyles, with the higher speed lives that we lead now, and give us another opportunity to connect with our members. So if we take a look back at the very first bulletin number one, back in 1935, it was a single sheet of paper, typewritten, and of course it evolved through the years. And if you look through this through the 40s and the 50s, the name changed a little bit, the format changed a little bit in the 70s and into the 2000s. Again, more format change, adding color, new name, and here we are in 2022, just part of the same line of evolution that we've been going through since the beginning. Here in 2022, we've now got a digital version it's just another format, but it's still the same great magazine that we've had for years and years. But what it does is this allows us to, again, get this into the hands of all of our members and gives people a choice. So now you can get the magazine, read the magazine, and connect with the rest of the community in this magazine anytime, anywhere on all these different devices. But it's not just anytime, anywhere. It's also anyone now. And this is the really exciting part about this, is that we've got a bunch of young modelers out there, young potential modelers, people who are used to accessing printed material over the web, through their mobile devices, through screens. It's all about screens now, whether we like it or not, whether it's good for us or not. It is the way that a lot of us consume our information now, and especially the younger modelers. So this is an opportunity for us to get in front of millions of potential modelers through these app stores that people can search, find our app, download, see a free issue, see what it's all about, and hopefully get them involved and interested in this organization through the magazine. So it's a really great recruitment tool, really great way to expose the organization, expose the hobby. And again, it provides us a way to enhance and strengthen our organization and the hobby in general. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a preview of what you'll see on April 1st or shortly thereafter, whenever you get around to signing up and going to the web page, getting your apps, and getting onto the digital version. So the first version that I'm going to show you is the web version, and this is for desktop machines. The idea is that if people like to access their PDFs or web pages or videos or that sort of thing, here we are. We're in the same place. We're a click away, and you can get to the NMRA magazine and get your latest issue, look at the back issues, and be able to access us through your desktop if that's what you like. So we do this through what's called a web app. Now it's just like a regular web page, but this web app is working in the background and provides some different functionality for viewing the magazine, as well as some other things. But when you go to the web page and you select one of the issues, like the April 2022 issue, which is going to be the first new one up on April 1st, you'll see this screen. And when you go to try to read this, what's going to happen if this is the first time that you are logging on, you're going to see this dialog box come up that is going to ask you to sign in. Now, you're not going to be able to sign in directly because with this new app, you're going to have to actually register with this service, with our digital version. And what you want to do is go down to the bottom of that dialog box and click the register here words in order to be able to set up your account to read the digital magazine. The next little dialog box is going to ask you for your email. And this is a very important part. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to use the email that you use for our website, nmra.org, and the one that you have registered for that website with. You may have other emails that you use on a daily basis or whatever, but it is the email that you have used to register on our nmra.org website that you need to use in order to be able to access this, because this ties into our database of members who have emails on file that we have used for their access to our website. So if you don't have access to the nmra.org website, you need to go to nmra.org /members and register there to be able to access the website and then our digital version of the magazine. Now, once you're here, you do the email. You can choose a password. It's of your choice. It doesn't have to be the same one that you use for nmra.org. This is a new login. This is something that's going to be saved separately from things that are happening. But the important thing is that you have to use the email from nmra.org. If you don't remember anything else from this presentation, make sure that you have registered for our website and can access the website and then the digital version here. Also, you've got a little opt-in box down here at the bottom that will allow you to know when and be notified when new issues are available. And this is, no different than, being on an email list or anything else, but you'll get, if you use the apps, you'll get in-app messages and notifications about things going on with the magazine. So after you do that, go back to the magazine, and now you can click Read Now, and that will give you access to what's going on. Also down here at the bottom, you get a little preview of what's inside this issue. These are the different articles that appear, and you can actually, click straight through if you want to do that. But going to the Read Now, the next thing that you're going to see is the cover, just like you would if you had the paper version. Now, this PDF that we use to create the digital version is the exact same PDF that Cynthia, our editor, sends to the printer every month to get printed. So this is going to be an exact replication of reproduction of the magazine that you would get in paper form. So once you go inside the magazine, you've got a couple of different ways that you can navigate through it. The first way is through the arrows on the left and right hand side of the page. This simply flips the page, one page forward, one page backwards. But you can also go down to the slider at the bottom and you can grab hold of that. It'll tell you what page that you're on, and you can slide that little dot back and forth and go to a particular page if you know what page it is that you're looking for. You can also zoom in and out of this. Now, this is a PDF, so it works just like any other PDF that you're used to working with. But down here at the bottom right, you've got little magnifying glasses, a plus and a minus to zoom in and out. You can also use your scroll wheel on your mouse to easily zoom in and out of these pages. Then once you've zoomed in or zoomed out, if you left click and hold on the page, you can pan around. Again, this is just like a regular PDF viewer that you're probably very familiar with. So it's very easy to navigate, and you see the entire page. You see exactly what's in the printed version with that same sort of experience. Now, up on the upper left-hand side of the page is your real working menu. There are just a few things here that make viewing the magazine a lot easier, and there are a couple of features too that that you can't get in the paper version, quite frankly. The first one is going to be the home page. That's just going to take you back to the original page, and you've got the table of contents, which is going to allow you to skip forward and backwards through the articles. You've got a bookmark feature that we'll talk about, flowable text, and then also printing to paper or PDF. This will allow you to print two-page spreads, just 2 pages at a time, in order to either print those out from a printer, so you have a hard copy, like if you're wanting to print out plans for something, or you can save it as a PDF and access it later on from your own hard drive. So the table of contents is really pretty neat. Once you click on that, it's going to open up this little panel that shows you all of the pages in order as they appear in the magazine. And you can simply scroll through that or left click and drag on the slider and move through the magazine and choose articles or pages that you want to see. Click on that and you'll go immediately to that page. Just like a PDF viewer or PDF reader, if you've used those before. Now, the neat thing that is something extra, that is something that is not in a normal PDF, and one of the features that we really like about this platform is this thing called flowable text. Now, if you click the text menu item, it's going to change to this flowable text format. And as you can see, what it does is it takes that PDF and it turns it into the text and the images in a single column that allows you to scroll through the article, and it makes it a little bit easier to read. You can still click on the photos, and the photos will go full screen. And you can scroll through all the photos that are in that article, but this allows you to read it a little bit better. And we've already heard from our beta testers that they actually kind of like this on the desktop, that this makes it a lot easier to read. You have control over the size of the text and the color of the background, so you can customize it a little bit. But a couple of people have said that they prefer this way, that it's a little bit easier than using the PDF. And this was actually made for the mobile devices, for the mobile version, so that you can just easily kind of thumb scroll through the issue. But it's available on the desktop, and some people appear to prefer that already. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can save the issue to your desktop, but you can do this only in Chrome. You have to be using the Chrome browser. And when you first navigate to the page, to the URL, you're going to get a little download now button. And what that does is that's going to download an extension for Chrome that allows you to save your issues so that you can view them offline on your desktop machine. This will pop back up if you don't do it, the first time. It'll remind you. But what this does is it stores the issue locally on your machine and allows you to read without being connected to the internet. It speeds things up a little bit because, of course, you're not downloading each page as you're going through it. So that's a kind of a nice feature. Now, once you do that, you're going to have a tab that you can go to within the browser where you can select your downloaded issues and view it just like you would if you were online. So it's the same interface for everything. It's just whether you download it and have it locally on your machine or if you're accessing it through the cloud. Now, the really exciting part of this, I think, is that at the same time we've got this web app running on desktop browsers, now we've got apps that are starting to appear in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. This allows us to, access people on their mobile device, phone, tablets, both Apple and Google, and opens us up to being discovered by millions of people around the world who might have some interest in model railroads or railroading. And they'll be able to discover us there and hopefully get involved with not only the hobby, but us as an organization. So after you go to the App Store and download those just like you would anything else, it's a free download. And in fact, people who are not members can download it and they can access a free issue so that they can see what the magazine's about, learn a little bit about the organization, hopefully get excited about both, and then head on over to NMRA.org and sign up to be a member. So here's what it looks like on a phone. The first image shows you what you'll see once you first open up the app. It's the home page that features some banners that will be scrolling across the top. This is a nice feature because this is going to allow us to advertise things like conventions and things that you are interested in knowing about. And you can click on those and it will take you to a browser window, just like any other web page. There's also an Explore feature, which is going to have articles that we like to feature so that you can go straight to those, or the recent issues are going to show up down at the bottom. And that's, again, just like the web app, where you're going to be able to click on those and read individual issues. Now, if you have signed up on the web, you can go ahead and hit the sign in button when that comes up if you try to read an issue, and then just log in with your email and your password. But if you haven't and you're going to the app for the first time and haven't been to the web page yet, then you need to come down here and click the sign up button. And what this will do is it'll bring up the same dialog boxes that appear on the web page. You'll want to enter, we have to come over to sign up, sorry. Enter an email and password of your choice. Again, this has to be the NMRA email, the website NMRA.org email, and then a password that doesn't have to be the same. It can be of your own choosing. And then when you go to sign up or sign in, you just have the email and password, hit that. And you only have to do that once. You don't have to do that every time that you access it. It's just like other apps that'll save that login so you can quickly hit the app and dive right into the magazines. So you've got a lot of control over what you're seeing and how you're seeing it in the mobile device, just like you did on the web. You got all your issues that are going to show up, in the magazines. You'll have access to your bookmarks, downloaded things, and then also different ways of viewing it even on your mobile device. So if you want to see the PDF version, you can still do that. You still got a table of contents that appears down at the bottom that you can scroll through. And of course, pinching and zooming to get a bigger view of what's going on, scroll around just like you would pan in a regular PDF. But here's where, again, this really shines, is that we've got this flowable text format which makes it very easy to read on a mobile. And it's even easier than reading in a paper magazine, I think. This pulls out the text and the images. Same thing as telling you on the web app, where you can click on the image, it'll get bigger, and you'll be able to scroll through the whole gallery of images in that particular article, and then just scroll through the article and read it like you would anything else on your phone. The other neat thing is that you can, again, same thing as in the web app, you can change the background, the size of the text, the brightness of the screen, and even there's a text to speech feature, which in my local club, we do have a blind member who I haven't told this to yet. I think he's going to be pretty excited when I tell him. But this is a nice mobile device feature that we can now take advantage of, and have that more accessible to more people. So when you change the background and the text size, this is what it's going to look like. And this is just personal choice, of course. Whatever floats your boat on this. But if you do use the darker ones, those are easier to read at night. So if you're scrolling through this, laying in bed awake late at night, I would suggest going to the dark version. It also makes things a lot easier to find and to keep on your mobile device. Now, when you do some of this stuff, you are going to be synced to your account. So the same things are going to show up both on the web and on your mobile device. And this is something that we're probably all getting pretty used to in using mobile apps. But it's a really nice feature, because the things that you do, like making bookmarks in these articles, is going to show up on both things, so you can kind of seamlessly transfer back and forth from your desktop to your mobile device. So the bookmarks, when you come across a spread that you want to save for later on, and make sure that you either go back and read it and reference it, or you just want to hang on to it, you click the bookmark icon, and it will show up here in the bookmarks, and you can go back, click on it, and go immediately to that page, which is a really nice feature. The other cool thing is that, and this is new to the platform, you can do a search of all the magazines that you have, to find your favorite railroad, to find people. Anything that's going to show up in the body of the text is going to be found by the search feature, and comes up with the results, and then you can click directly to that, going to the magazine. So just for instance, searching for Union Pacific in this April issue, shows Mike Mackey's article that we were looking at earlier, because of course we're looking at the Union Pacific big boy that came through Texas. And it also brings up Seth Newman's Union Pacific Oakland sub, as another article that features the Union Pacific. Really neat feature. So we can find things, we can file things, but I think one of the most important things that we can find, or that other people can find, is us. This app allows people to have that entree into our organization, into the hobby, through their mobile device, through these app stores, and it's exposure that is, I think, invaluable to finding some people who are of like mind, who want to get involved in the hobby, and hopefully with our organization. And all of this that we're doing, it is to strengthen the organization, is to make it more accessible to more people, to make it more relevant, to give people choices, and to really strengthen our community and make sure that we're providing services and doing the best we can for both the organization and supporting the hobby as well. So that's all I've got. Just want to emphasize that that this is a really cool project that we've undertaken. We started this for real in July, when Gordy took the office of president, and we are 9 months away from that start date, and we have gone from a paper version of the magazine to these digital versions and all these neat features and ways of accessing the magazine and opening up our organization to be found by others of like mind throughout the world. So I think this is a really great indication of what we can do when we want to. This shows that the organization is strong and vital, uh, and I really think it's an indication of what we can do when we put our minds to something. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really looking forward to being able to read my magazine at work during meetings, maybe. Who knows? Don't tell anybody. But all of this is going to start April 1st. And like I said, we'll be sending out an email that will give web addresses, links to the app stores, and all of that so you can start reading your magazine online. So I think we may have a few minutes for questions.
Yes, Riley, we did have a couple questions that came in. Thank you, first of all, for a really great presentation. It was very thorough. There were a couple questions, and even though I think you answered the question, I think it's still good to refresh
Sure.
on what it is. There were three of them that were kind of related, and basically, can you save the entire magazine as a PDF on your computer, or are you limited to 2 pages at a time, or an entire article? Is it something that would be downloaded to your tablet, laptop, or
Right.
phone to read while
Yeah.
traveling?
No, that's that. Yeah, that's a great set of questions because that speaks to the functionality of the system. So the first question: can you download the entire PDF to your computer? No, not as a PDF. So you can't use the print function and just print out the entire magazine in a PDF. You can only do it in 2-page spreads, and that's to encourage, of course, being able to use the information, but not being able to freely distribute and potentially take away revenue and members from our organization. So that's why there's that limit on there. But you can download it to your computer, but you have to view it through this platform, through your browser. So you'll be accessing it locally, but it'll be the same PDF, same viewer that you're using through your browser. Now, on your phones and your tablets, you definitely can download, and that's so you can use them on an airplane. You can download and be offline and still read as many issues as you want to download on your tablet or to your phone. So this is a key feature, I think, for people who travel and come in and out of having access to the internet. Now you can just download the latest issue or issues that you want to read, um, pack up, travel, and enjoy it on your mobile device.
Okay. Okay, well, a question just came in. Can I subscribe, access the digital magazine if I'm halfway through my annual membership without the paper magazine cost? And if so, what's the cost?
Okay, so the digital version is available to every member. 100% of the members will have access to it on April 1st.
Okay.
And this is a huge deal because only 70% of the members subscribe to the paper magazine right now. So we're going to have 100% um, possibility of people being able to read the magazine, which I think is one of the great benefits of the membership. So even if you have a membership right now that is going to continue across April 1st, you'll automatically get the digital, and you will keep getting the paper as long as your subscription, as long as your membership um, uh, until it's due, till it's up. And when you renew, you can decide either to continue subscribing to the paper version, which is going to be the same process that you do right now. You just add that to your membership. Or if you don't decide to renew, you still get the digital version along with everybody else.
Okay. All right. So say we're a year into this, and we have the digital magazine out for the year, and we've recruited a new member. Does that new member see all the previous issues of the digital magazine?
Excellent question. So because of how our author agreements have been structured and whatnot, we've been able to go back to October of 2020 and have all of those issues available on the on the platform digitally on day one. So you'll
Okay.
be able to go all the way back to October 2020. Now, for issues before that, we're in the process of making those available through our NMRA.org website. And those will be just regular PDFs that you can access. So here pretty soon, you'll be able to enjoy everything from 1935 all the way up to the current day.
Okay. Okay. And one final question. I don't see any other questions is, and I'm not sure exactly what this means, but what about a back issue plan? So
That's probably, yeah, what we're just talking about,
that's what I
where
was
all the
wondering if
back
it was.
issues.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so we've had lots of people working many hours scanning these things into PDFs. Um, uh, from what I understand, most everything is scanned, or everything is scanned, and we're just in the process of getting it up on the website and available. So those will, yes, be available at nmra.org on the digital magazine page.
Right.
And those would be just regular PDFs that you can use in an Adobe Reader.
Okay. Okay. And one, well, another question just came in. What about Microsoft Surface type tablets, which is a Microsoft Windows secure, no Chrome on that? That will,
So this will work on any browser.
okay.
The only feature that does not work is downloading it to your local machine. So you won't be able to use it offline, but you can definitely access it through any browser. So Firefox works. Um, was it Microsoft Edge? I think it works in there, but Chrome is really what it's designed towards, and it's because of that single feature that we really wanted to have, being able to download it on a local machine.
Okay. All right. Well, a great presentation, Riley. It's a lot of information, and thank you very much for doing that. I'll just remind you of what Riley said. If you are an NMRA member, be sure to register your email address by visiting nmra.org/members. And you can also contact the NMRA office to provide your email or correct what is already on file, because we do know there are some email addresses that are not correct in the system. So make sure you check your email address. So I think what we'll do now is we'll take a quick little minute break as we prepare the studio for our next clinician. Thanks again, Riley.